brand new episode of Coming Distractions brought to you by the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Carrey.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. This time we're going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. Carrey, you had the chance to see the live-action movie based on the obvious video game character, who thankfully was redone after that first trailer. This is directed by Jeff Fowler, starring James Marsden, Ben Schwartz, who plays Sonic, the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog.
And I think he also did the facial mocap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny. Tika Sumpter and Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. What is the general premise for this, as if you have to tell us?
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts?
So this is Sonic in this movie is an alien. They pretty much explicitly say he is from another world, he's from a different planet, but he has this power that makes him go fast, I guess. They don't really explain explicitly what the power is.
That's
but
fine.
They're just he has this power, it makes him very powerful and very fast, and other creatures in the universe want that for themselves. So he is forced to leave his home world at a very young age. He eventually comes to Earth, hides out on Earth, in a moment of frustration, I guess. His power overloads, and then the government is like, what just happened? And so they send one Dr. Robotnik after one Sonic the Hedgehog. And basically Sonic is trying to get his rings back. The rings in this story are interdimensional, interplanetary devices. He throws one and it opens a portal to a different place.
I saw that in the trailer. Okay.
So he lost those. Those are in San Francisco, and he travels with Sheriff Tom, who has been caught up in all of this. So he has to evade Dr. Robotnik, get his rings back, and then escape before his powers can be used for evil.
Okay. All right. So quickly, your thoughts on this, and then I have the ultimate question, which is, does this once again challenge the curse of video games cannot be adapted into live action movies?
It does challenge.
Okay.
Because I thought it was really fun.
Good. I thought the trailer looked pretty fun for a kid's movie.
Was surprised in sort of how much fun it was, because I was expecting it to be garbage, right?
Yes.
I feel like Sonic as a franchise has been cursed with mediocrity for most of its history.
The second they made those games 3D, it was a disaster.
Sonic Adventure is not a game that has aged particularly well.
No.
But it's a lot of fun. It is extremely a kid's movie.
Okay, that seems
just in terms of the writing, in terms of the humor. Chris described it as someone's dad writing Sonic jokes.
Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of in line with what I would imagine a Sonic the Hedgehog movie would be.
Yeah, so it's all right, cool. The Sonic flosses at one point.
Yeah.
Neat. But then there's also really good, if you've been in the Sonic meme culture long enough, there's some good cuts in there as far as someone's drawing of what he thinks Sonic looks like, having only seen him flashes of him before, and that's very good. It's just a lot of fun. It's a goofy kids movie, yes, but I feel even if you're a salty millennial such as myself who has grown up on these games and seen how mediocre some of them have become, and saw how awful that first trailer looked, you'll probably still enjoy it.
Okay.
It's fun. There's some weird product placement going on in this movie.
That does not shock me at all.
Yeah, it's just because Sheriff Tom is I'm going to move to San Francisco and become an officer there instead. And his wife is I've looked at these apartments on Zillow, and it cuts to a Zillow screen, and I'm
that's so bad.
That's really bad. And they talk a lot about the Olive Garden. At least the Olive Garden jokes are written well. So I'm okay.
That's funny. I looked at this on Zillow.
Yeah, it was very obvious. Look for apartments on Zillow. And I'm
all right, relax.
But
all the kids are oh, okay, I'll note this. I'm 6.
Right. So, no, it's just Jim Carrey is such in his element in this movie.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, because, yeah, like, look, I think they got the design for Sonic right. I'm not shocked that Ben Schwartz was probably a pretty good Sonic. Like, it's either Jaleel White, or for me, it's probably Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
So, like, those are the two guys I would have chosen.
His voice is good. He doesn't sound like he's doing, like, a Sonic impression. Like,
it's his own thing.
Yeah. But still very much in line with what you want Sonic to sound like.
Right, kind of a smart aleck jackass.
Yeah, like a smart ass kid.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
talks way too much and way too fast. Like,
that's Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
He's not acting then.
No.
So then, it's like,
so
you see
Jim
that.
Carrey.
And then that's who I wanted to know. Because he looked like he's having a blast.
He is having a blast in this movie.
That's great.
It's a lot of fun to see him. Like, it's everything you want out of a Jim Carrey performance that's, like, comedic in 2020.
Right.
Like, it's not him just being off the wall, dumb, wacky, like 25 years ago.
Right,
Like,
which worked for him then, but it's just different.
It certainly did, but, like, it's smarter writing. Like, some of his jokes, some of his lines are very good, very memorable, and I don't even want to say any of them because, like, they're just so good in the moment. His interactions with everyone else is really good. It's like you slowly see exactly how unhinged Dr. Robotnik actually is.
Right.
It's like at first when they introduce him, you're like, all right, this dude's a weirdo. And by the end, you're like, this dude's a maniac.
Good. That's exactly
good.
how I picture him.
Yeah.
So that's good. So I guess the question is, so it does work as a live action movie, which is great to hear.
They are setting up for a sequel.
Okay. That was what I was going to say. Are we going to see more of this, or do you want to see more of it?
I think, assuming that this is financially successful, that they will definitely do a second one. And I want to see a second one because the stuff that they put in there to set up for the sequel, I'm just like, I don't know this. I haven't seen the movie, but if Tails is not in this series at some point, I'll be very upset. Right. Yeah. So as someone who like grew up going over like my neighbor's house to play Sonic 2 on their Genesis because I didn't have a Genesis.
Right.
This kind of stuff that they're alluding to in this movie, I'm just like, inject it directly into my veins. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'm actually really, of all of these sort of like video game adaptations, I'm actually really happy to hear this is doing well, because it seems like a solid down the line kids movie franchise that could do very well.
Yeah, it's very solid down the line kids movie. It's interesting because it's like they're not directly adapting any of the games with this movie. This is an original story. They're mostly adapting the character, which is fine, and it works for this movie. I'm interested to see if a sequel more directly adapts one of the games now that they have introduced Sonic and some of the concepts that surround him.
Right. It would be interesting to take like Robotnik and put him into that universe, into Sonic's world, right? Because that's how we know him. We don't know him from like regular Earth, right? So it would be interesting for him to kind of adapt to that and then like just throw him into the goofy madness that is that universe, which is kind of fun. All right. So if you have to give it a score out of 5.
Like a 3.5, I think, just because like some of the writing is a little off. The movie looks great. Like it really does. The improvements that they made on the CG after that first trailer are remarkable, and particularly given the amount of time that they had to do it.
Yeah.
Sonic looks great. I mean, I think between this and the success of Detective Pikachu last year, I feel like we are finally making the strides to be like, hey, video games, if they're done right and they stay true to the core of what these franchises are, they can actually be really good films.
Do you want a Smash Brothers universe?
No.
Yeah, you know, they're coming together. Finally, it's happening.
No.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, that's it for us. 3.5 out of 5 for Sonic the Hedgehog, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks.
Bye. You're watching the Nerdpocalypse YouTube channel. Make sure you click that button to subscribe and check out our weekly podcast where we talk about movie, TV, news, tech, and weird stories from around the internet.